We appreciate you coming out tonight. My name is Bill McDonald. I'm with Wagner Engineering, and we are contracted by the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission, the state agency who is the state partner on this project. We're here tonight to talk about the Upper Bogue Chitto Watershed Plan and Environmental Assessment. As I said, I'm with Wagner. I am one of the representatives of the contractor for the project. I have several colleagues, Alex Bohannon, Calandra Jenkins, Zoe Damish. We have representatives from NRCS, T. Duncan, Laura Anderson, and then from Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission, there's Nick Ivey and Brad Shedd. And we appreciate them being here. The purpose of our meeting is to present to you some potential alternative solutions that we have looked at or are examining for flood damage reduction in the watershed, and primarily in this the area of this community. The real purpose for us presenting that to you is because we want input. We'd like to get your comments, your thoughts, input. We would like, once we explain, Calandra is going to go into some detail about these alternative solutions. We would like for you to give us your comments about those. If you are, once you see those, if you're aware of any particular concerns with regard to those alternatives, you have different ideas. Those are the kinds of things we would like for you to share with us. And you can do it in several ways, and Calandra, at the end, will show you that, how to do that. But one of those ways is with that comment form that I hope you picked up at the table. If you don't have one of the comment forms, let us know, and we'll get that to you. But you can turn that in tonight. You can take it home with you, fill it out, send it back to us either through the mail, through the email, and then there are other ways that you'll share. Once again, the stakeholders of this program are the NRCS, that's the federal agency that has provided the funding for the program. The state agency is the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission. And the state agency and the federal agency have partnered together with Hinds County. The Hinds County Board of Supervisors is the local sponsor for this project. And so what you have is a true partnership between the federal, state, and local units of government to address this, hopefully address the issue of flood damage in this area. I've introduced to you the individuals who represent each of these agencies, and we're here tonight to answer your questions, be available to you. And I'm going to turn it over to Calandra Jenkins, and she'll share some details briefly about these alternative solutions that we're evaluating.
Good evening. Good evening. So the purpose of the entire watershed plan is to reduce the damages to Upper Bogue Chitto Creek by reducing the amount of flood water and reducing the depth of flood water in particularly Presidential Hills. This is a picture of the watershed. I don't know if you know, but you guys are in the headlands, in the headwaters, where the water starts and it travels up to the Big Black River. So tonight we're going to discuss a no action alternative, a structural alternative, and a non-structural alternative. The no action alternative will be what happens if we don't do anything. And that is also the baseline. So we start there and then it goes from there to determine what will be the next measures to reduce the flood waters. So the way there are three ways we can reduce flooding in Presidential Hills. One, we can remove or reduce the flood water by water before it creates risk to properties. We can, two, get the flood water out of risk areas faster, or we can remove property from the areas of risk. So the first structural alternative would be flood storage. I remember at the last meeting, we were informed that there was a dry dam on the other side of Northwest Middle School that fed into this community. We looked into that and realized that that would be a good way to slow down water coming into the Presidential Hills neighborhood. So what we're looking into is to bring that back into service, bring it up to code and everything, in addition to another dry dam that we are proposing, which will be located at the corner of, well, in the area of Northside Drive and Flag Chapel Road. And what this will do it will prevent water from, well, it won't prevent water, it will hold back some of the water to make it release slower, so it will be less velocity and lower flood waters coming into your neighborhood. It will also reduce peak flows. There will be some acquisition because of the land that's required, some flood easements, and provide reduction in critical areas. Another structural alternative would be stream bank restoration on Bogue Chitto Creek. So the area that we're talking about, if you want to, you can look on your map. I did give you guys a close-up of the map. That area is from Flag Chapel Road up to the water treatment plant on the main road that comes into Franklin D. Roosevelt. So what we will do is we will widen the channel bottom, which will allow more water to come through, and it will allow the water to stay within the channel banks and not come over the water and flood the people on Franklin D. Roosevelt. It will restore the degraded channel section and protect adjacent homes and property from risk due to flood damages to stream. The final alternative will be a non-structural alternative. And this is what we call a voluntary buyout. And it is for those areas in the area of Lyndon B. Johnson, the bowl, so to speak, that entire cul-de-sac, which is where the two streams converge, right? So it's right there at that intersection. And what it would do is focus on, that was the area of most risk in the neighborhood. It's voluntary and application-based, acquisition, relocation provision, property converted to permanent conservation. So if you were to choose to participate in that program, there will be no more building in that area. So it's not like we're replacing it with something else, because one of the issues is too developed. So it will return back to its natural state. And it could be combined with other measures. And that's more so what we're leaning towards. Yes, sir.
Sure. So in that area right there, you're saying on the opposite side of the homes? Or you would do something on the other side so the water could run away from the home?
Which side are we talking about?
At the Lyndon B. Johnson Circle, where the two converge right there in that area.
We're looking at the outermost edge of the circle. Well, actually, everybody in that cul-de-sac, yes.
So on this side, you would do something here to make that water flow away from?
I don't know which side you're talking about.
You would make the water flow this way. Instead of coming down the Bogue Chitto Creek, it would come this way.
No. The flood storage would go here, and it will slow down the water that's coming up through here. Well, actually, the flood storage will go here. And it'll slow down the water that's coming through here, and we'll put the flood storage here, which will slow down the water that's coming through here. Also, we will modify the channel from Flag Chapel Road up into the water treatment plant. So essentially what we're trying to do is not allow so much water to come into the channel, and then the water that's in there, it'll get out faster. So what it's supposed to look like is water is not supposed to overtop the banks. And this is Franklin D. Roosevelt,
Yes.
correct? Right. And this is Flag Chapel Road.
Yes. But I was thinking that if water could get out and come this way,
You mean,
because
you mean for us to make
something,
another?
yes, to bring the water away from here, to bring the water down this way, because the water is going headed this way. But if the water could come down here, because you were saying build something here that public
Down here.
down here,
Mhm.
to get that water to come out. this away, because it's flowing this way, if it just comes.
Well, we don't want the water to go outside of its natural flow, which is in the stream, in the stream. So we're just trying to control what's already in the stream. We're not gonna create something
Make
where,
it,
right,
make it turn.
right,
on.
right.
Okay. I thought maybe they would put something as another basin or something to catch that water if it overflows.
Sometimes you can do that, and divert it and hold it in another, what you have to find low spots that are where the water already wants to go.
Yeah.
To bring it back this way would kind of be forcing it uphill, you know what I mean? But that is an option that we certainly look at.
Yeah, because that's all forest there, and,
Yeah.
you know, I stay on that line.
You stay on this line?
Yes, I stay, I can see the divide when it comes in, and, yeah, I was thinking that if they even cut that side down that was lower, it would take that water out.
What we try to do is use the natural topography and right, to use that as to our advantage. And what we came up with was the flood storage down here also, because this is where the water starts.
Okay.
And then it's flowing through and then it heads out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
How deep of the storage gonna be? Water gonna go in there to stay to
Well, both of these will be dry,
the rain and then it fills up?
correct.
How deep is that gonna be?
At this time, I don't know how deep it's going to be. Alice, do you know how deep it's going to be?
Probably more than 10 feet.
Probably 10 feet.
And that's what,
How wide
5
is
to
it
6
gonna be?
acres?
I don't know that at this point. Do you know how big it's going to be?
Not off the top of my head, that's not.
Yes, sir.
Because see, that's gonna be, a hazard for our children around that neighborhood, because if it hold a whole lot of water, you know what they're gonna do.
Right.
And it's not secure, somebody will be hurt.
Well, we can do what we can to make sure that it doesn't get damaged.
No,
Just
it's not gonna get damaged. You know, with water, that's a storage place.
Right.
We're gonna have 2 of them,
Correct.
and it's gonna hold water.
Only when it rains. It's
Well,
not going to be a
when it rains,
permanent.
but then,
Right.
see, we had it up there once before,
Yes, sir.
and back in, it flooded. The street you said was in the sway,
Linda B. Johnson?
it flooded our street. Because the dam broke up there, and they had it where they could hold the water and let it so much out. But you know, when it rains and rains and rains, it's gotta be a really good dam to hold that water.
We have designed it to hold a 100-year flood.
Well, that's, to me, that is hard to determine, because in 100 years, you know how much water gonna fall.
The 100-year means that that's the likelihood of the largest flood in 100 years. That doesn't mean it's going to last 100 years. That
Right.
means that, but also that water was pooling up in your streets where those kids were playing before. So I think the risk is being moved to a more palatable place, I guess you would say, you know.
Well, now, we have ditches that's not, it's taking the water all down to the creek. And the creek cannot, that water can't go into the creek when water coming out, clean down through that creek. And it fills up, then when the water goes into the creek, it stops, because it can't merge in. That's right. And that's what we have on a problem.
So with this channel line, we're widening it.
But still, the water, you
And
gotta
we're-
fix this, you
Right.
gotta fix that down there.
Right, but what we're trying to do is